Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, let's get after it on a Thursday. A high of 58 and breezy, so it's probably going to feel a little bit cooler than that. Some light rain early afternoon. Let's get it out of the way before the unofficial start to summer gets here. Real quick, start the show. Kelly, have you made your smoothie yet?
I did.
Oh.
Why?
You got to make some changes.
Why?
Because just found out through a study, after noticing your little Ziploc baggie every morning in the fridge, as you make your pre-smoothie ingredients and then add everything and blend it up, I noticed you usually do some bananas and some berries.
Right.
And then was it yogurt in there? What else is in there?
No yogurt, just blueberries and bananas. I freeze them for the week on Sunday, and then I grab a frozen bag every morning and bring it to work.
You need to change up your recipe, though.
Okay.
Because
this is so annoying.
The bananas are hurting you.
Are they?
Yes, they are. They're not hurting you.
I mean, I love the potassium.
But they're not helping you. Here's the problem.
Okay.
You should eat your banana, but you should not put your banana in your smoothie because it can decrease your smoothie's nutritional value by a lot. Because there's an enzyme in bananas called PPO, polyphenol oxidase, and it's an enzyme in the fruit that causes them to turn brown. However, they found out when you add bananas to your smoothies, it reduces the flavonols by 84%, which the flavonols are supposed to what makes things healthy and help you.
Okay.
So, they said it is much more drastic when you add a banana to a smoothie with lots of berries in it. You're taking away from the berries like raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. So leave the banana out, eat your banana on its own, and then make a different flavor smoothie without bananas.
One thing they did not calculate for in this study is that I do not care.
Okay.
So, I mean, I do appreciate the education. Maybe I'll think about it in the future. But I do have one more bag of frozen fruits and banana to bring in this week. Maybe we'll make a change this weekend. Probably not.
Okay. I just want you to have all the information.
I appreciate it.
I want you to get all the health benefits possible. I mean, if you're going to do a smoothie, with the protein powder and the B enzymes and the wheatgrass and all the healthy things that people do smoothies for, then
to be the most healthy.
Make it as healthy as possible.
Is this going to impact my scrambled eggs that I have my banana with every morning?
No, again, because it's not ground up in the smoothie.
Okay, but I eat them back to back.
No, they say eat the banana.
Yeah.
You want to eat the banana.
Raw dog your banana, just like you're doing it every morning.
Oh, okay. I thought I was supposed to eat it separately as a snack later.
Nope. Just don't blend it all together.
All right.
So it's that whole blending and breaking down of the enzymes.
Okay, but like if I eat a banana and then I eat scrambled eggs, aren't they still getting blended together in my stomach?
It's different.
All right.
Especially for people like you who can take the banana and just
pretty much.
So
he started eating it at home because he was getting made fun of for eating it in front of us. So
because I eat it like any other normal human eats a banana.
I mean, do you?
Do you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you do with a banana, Goose?
You got to break it off. You have to break off the end.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Really? You don't just eat the banana?
No, man.
Bite by bite. Goose.
No,
Goose.
Break it up.
Seriously.
I don't eat a lot of bananas.
When you do, don't you just peel it and eat it like a normal person?
The hand gesture is wild. What's
that?
Ask Vic to show you how he peels and eats a banana.
Was that a peel or a foreskin? I couldn't tell. Oh, God. Let's get into Blitz Morning Trivia.
But you see why he had to take his breakfast back home and just do it there?
Yeah,
because it's relentless. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Gotta get new friends.
It was really interesting, but before he ate it, he kissed the tip first. Just a little.
I'm sorry, Vic. You took it too far.
Damn it, that was funny.
It's right up.
Are you ready for some trivia?
Oh, God.
All right. We'll get you $25 to waterbeds and stuff. You're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. We get this every year on HBO, and it was just announced Hard Knocks will feature what NFL team on Hard Knocks this year? Be the first one to tell us at 99-700. We'll hook you up with the $25 to water beds and stuff.
All right, let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia, Thick.
All right, the question was HBO's Hard Knocks will showcase which NFL team this season, and the answer is the Buffalo Bills.
Okay, very popular team.
Yeah, I think they blew it, though. I think they should have done the Browns. The whole Shedeur Sanders
yeah, but
and all of that.
They work on this stuff long before
the draft?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. To set up all the things they need to set up to get through legal and approval and all that kind of stuff. This was in the works last year when the Bills were doing so well.
All right. I'll take your word for it. Then they do they also do a second one now. They do the in-season look.
Right.
And they do a division. That will be the NFC East. So the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders. But the Buffalo Bills will be the main training camp team. And that will premiere on HBO Max on August 5th. And Chuck Bolt was the first one to text in the correct answer. And he's got $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Congratulations. I saw this video and it really made me laugh. The reviews are coming out for the latest Mission Impossible movie, which comes out this weekend. Going to go see it on Sunday. Reviews are rave. Everyone's saying it's a great movie. Supposedly it's the last Mission Impossible movie that we're going to get. They kind of wrap up the story here. But they had their world premiere, and someone took a video of Tom Cruise. He was standing in the aisleway, kind of leaning on one of the bars, talking to some people, obviously. And someone got video of him. Because while he's listening to this person talk, he's eating popcorn. And he does the most middle-aged man popcorn eating I've ever seen. He does that thing where you take a handful of popcorn, and while you're talking...
it?
No, which I do. Like walking to the... You ever walk to the movie after you get your popcorn and your pop, and your hands are full, and you just go...
Yeah.
And you know...
Right into the container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like an anteater.
Right.
No, but he's got the bag in one hand. He scoops out a bunch of popcorn, and while he's listening, he's shaking the popcorn in his hand, and he goes, one at a time, like M&M's, and he's listening. And it was just the most middle-aged white man thing to do. It just cracked me up to watch the world's biggest movie star, the last action star, as a lot of people are calling him, just sitting there listening like,
Well, what should he have done?
I don't know.
What do you think? Like, just reach in, grab a few, and pop it in your mouth.
Well, after the lizard way of walking and eating popcorn, when I'm in my seat, I'm a stuffer. Like, I get that handful, and I just go
jam it all in.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Because I'm a one or two at a time person.
Really?
I'm a Tom Cruise. Yes. But then again, I mean,
but you're not shaking it up in your hand and throwing it back.
I don't shake it up in my hand.
You
no,
just place.
But I think if I'm talking to somebody and I'm sort of, it's one of those things you kind of need something for your hands to do. Maybe I don't know. I don't hate it.
It's not dice.
Well, we know that what Thick is doing because he's there definitely with the hand motion.
No, I just said it's not dice. No.
Oh, I want to talk about dice.
Yeah.
Talking about your banana eating.
Yeah.
So nothing wrong with my banana eating is effing normal.
Are you a stuffer, a mouth stuffer, or are you more dainty?
Not to the level of Kelly. I mean, I'm probably I can put 8 to 10 at a time in my mouth. Pretty easy.
Oh, for sure. Wait, we're still talking about popcorn?
Yes, Goose.
Okay, just making sure.
Not your Friday night.
Just making sure it's not.
Ooh, burn!
What?
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, first story takes us to our friends up north, Vancouver, British Columbia, where a 26-year-old man just had to be rescued after he jumped off of a bridge. Now, 50% of this story, I could see myself doing. Other 50%, not so much. He jumped off the bridge on a dare. Yeah, that's something I would do. 100%.
I triple dog dare you.
Yep. You want me to do what? Okay. I'll jump off a bridge. No problem. However, he did get stranded on the side of the river. Someone called it in. Then a fireboat made contact, gave him a life jacket. The Coast Guard was scrambled, had to pick him up. The paramedics took him to the hospital. Cops did talk to him, thinking he might have been trying to hurt himself or, off himself, basically. But it turned out he wasn't. He told them he jumped off the bridge because someone dared him to. And, well, the fact that he had been doing meth all day long also
that
played a
helps.
factor. That's the 50% I'm not diving into.
Have you ever jumped off a bridge?
I thought you were going to ask if you had ever done meth.
I have.
Answer the question.
I've not done either. No, I have done cliff jumping.
Yeah.
Off like the rock formations on the side of rocks at 50, 60 feet. But I haven't done a bridge before. Have I done a bridge before?
Have you done what's that called when you're jumping off a high place
base
with
jumping?
a parachute? Yeah, base
I
jumping.
have not done base jumping, no.
I feel like that's next for you because you've done so many skydiving.
I don't know if I want to go base jumping.
No?
The closest I've come is a jump from a helicopter.
Yeah, that's
again,
getting close.
that's still air where nothing's moving.
Have you ever done the glider?
I've not done the glider. You got to go through some training for
I
that.
would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not something you just go, let me throw this on and
No,
jump.
it takes
Yeah.
extra body control
I would
to
think.
move that thing. But,
No,
there are people that have flown 10 miles
Oh,
Dang.
really?
in those things. Yeah,
No
if
On
you jump,
purpose?
if you jump from the right height, if you're upwards of 15, 17,000 feet, you get some thermals. If it's a warmer day and you get some thermals, that thing will pick you up and you can just keep going.
Man.
Yeah.
As far as the crack goes.
It was meth, not crack.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I thought you had a follow-up question there. No.
No, I was just wondering what you'd done.
Oh.
You said meth, not crack.
Neither.
Oh, okay.
Neither. What? No. What do you? What?
Misunderstood.
No.
There's a bridge over Big Darby Creek. There's many bridges, but one particular west of Hilliard with a deep hole that we used to jump off of. when I
Oh,
was a
really?
kid.
Is it still there?
I would. Yeah.
Oh, we should go find it.
I know exactly where it is.
Oh, we should go take a look.
Yeah.
Yeah. How high is it, do you think?
Oh, probably. I don't know. It can't.
2-story house, 20 feet?
Yeah.
25
Oh,
feet?
I think 30 to 40. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
I'm
do
just
that.
getting used to having you around. Can you not jump into random holes?
It's not random. I've done
For
it.
a
I did
while.
it so much when I was a kid, all the time.
Give me about 10 years,
Probably-
will ya?
there's
About
probably-
10 years?
There's probably
Yeah.
a police officer listening right now. No, stop
You-
it.
You can't
Quit it.
do that. Yeah. We should go look at it. Second story coming out of North Carolina, where they have an education lottery where the money raised helps out the school system. And they do a pick 3 drawing. And as it turns out, on Tuesday night, they had themselves not a winner, but winners. In fact, they had to shell out $1.24 million. Here's the deal. In their pick 3 lottery, if you buy a 50-cent ticket and get all 3 numbers correct, you win $250. If you buy a $1 ticket and pick all 3 correct numbers, you're going to get $500.
Okay.
And yes, they had to pay out $1.24 million. You do the math. That's because they had 4,501 winning tickets for the draw 3 number.
Oh my God.
Because, when you play your draw 3...
You do the area code.
Sometimes you do the area code.
Yeah.
Or, what would be another popular pick 3 number if you were to play the lottery, do you think?
Let's
Is somebody
see.
doing 6?
420.
420.
You would
yes.
think, but not quite. It's a number we all know. Almost all of us have used it at some point in our life.
1, 2, 3.
Not quite. Nothing?
Nothing.
911.
Oh.
911.
911. 4,501 people used 911 on their pick 3, and that was the winning number. So, yes, they had to shell out $1.24 million to winners.
My grandmother played 723. I have no idea why, but she played it every week.
Really?
Yep.
Did she ever win?
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the thing. If it's a pick 3, I did not know this. You do the math. No matter what 3 numbers you pick, your odds of winning are the same, 1 in 1,000, which is much better than like the 6 numbers with the Powerball you have to
Right.
pick.
Yeah, but if you pick the same 3 numbers every day, it increases your odds over picking a different 3 numbers every day.
Oh,
And same thing with the lottery itself, Powerball, whatever. If you play the same numbers every time, eventually odds say those numbers will hit. If you switch them
instead
out,
of
if you
getting-
go random
right.
every time, your odds are less.
I guess I could see that.
Yeah. It might take somebody passing the numbers on to somebody else in your lifetime before they actually hit.
Well, yeah, considering the odds are 1 in 279 million. Yeah, for sure. That is your not-so-breaking news. All right, I don't necessarily want to do it, but I got to do it. We are going to call this the Sad Sarah segment. I'm about to be Debbie Downer here on a Thursday morning before 7 o'clock as you're getting up and getting ready to head into the office to earn that paycheck, which most likely, your paycheck coming up on the 30th is probably already spent on the mortgage due on the 1st, on the car bill that's due on the 1st. The paycheck's probably already gone, and it's frustrating. And it gets more frustrating when you learn that in addition to the tax breaks that are being considered, the 10 richest Americans, all billionaires, earned $365 billion, or they are collectively $365 billion richer just in 1 year, in the past year.
And they run the world.
They split $1 billion every single day over the past year.
Here's where I understand a gold digger mentality, because I think if I could get one of them, or even collectively, for them to just give up $1 million, which would be nothing to them,
right.
Nothing, pocket change, it would change my life. How do I do that?
That is a valid question. How do I get a billionaire on the phone?
Yeah.
And just be like, look.
Get your buddies together.
I need $1 million.
Scrape up a mill. You could do that looking in your couch cushions. So, not you, but them.
Right. I mean,
do it for me. It's nothing to you. It's everything to me. Let's get this done.
They all made $100 million a day throughout the last year. Each one of them.
Isn't that something?
That is, can't even wrap your head around that.
You know what else is beautiful? My bank account. Boom! Rich guy.
And to make matters worse, because we're here in Ohio, most likely you are getting up this morning and you are sleep deprived, because a research team just used data from the Center for Disease Control to look at sleep habits of people in 100 major cities, and they put together the list of most sleep deprived cities in America. And of the top 10, you have got 3 in Ohio, and Detroit, Michigan is sitting at number 3.
We're all tired up in here.
All tired up in here. Detroit, Michigan's number 3. Toledo's number 4. Cincinnati's number 5. And Cleveland's number 9 on the list. That's just unbelievable. Them hardworking Midwest people just tired and broke.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
That's why you need $1 million.
That's why I need $1 million.
Kelly, what are you going to pitch? How are you going to pitch that? Get that $1 million?
Well, that's what I'm asking. I need a crowdsourced idea, because I don't know.
Or even less than that, to make it even easier, you could get the top 10 richest that all, collectively made an extra $365 million over the past year. And if all 10 of them give you $100,000, then you've got your $1 million. Yeah. And I bet they have $100,000 in their pocket. The 10 richest people in America just throwing you down $100,000.
Or you have to come up with that idea that might be a flash in the pan, like your silly bands. Remember, everybody had to have silly bands around their wrists back in the day?
Yeah, what's the $1 million idea?
What's that? Where it's super cheap, and people are going to buy them once, maybe twice for their kids, and then they're out. And I don't need you anymore anyway. Buy my silly bands or whatever I come up with. Give me $1. I just need $1 from 1 million people.
I actually just had this thought last week, and I'm going to preface this right now. I don't want to hear it. This is not a political conversation. However, I was cleaning out the car or something, and I came across my Michigan logoed face mask for the couple years that we had to buy them. And I remember, because when it all started, they were handing out the paper ones, and you could get them at basically any store you walked into. They had the box of the little blue paper ones. And then as we knew we were getting into this, companies started coming out with designer masks. And I don't know if they're new companies, or these are companies that just kind of stopped making, gloves or whatever, and they're like, oh, we're going to switch up our production. Let's jump on this.
Oh, yeah, somebody who already had the capability to mass produce.
And then so you're just shipping out all these designer, whether they were sports logoed or fashion, trendy flowers or whatever to match the outfit you were wearing.
I'd love to know what they made for those.
Oh,
What did you make?
Well, not to mention, most of them were coming from overseas somewhere, made for $quarter a piece.
My wife was
that Michigan one still has COVID on it, so be careful.
Okay.
My wife made so many masks. Like, I gave her a couple old Cowboys T-shirts, so she made me Cowboys masks.
Yeah.
I think she should have been selling it. That's the thing. She's like, you need $50 from everybody. That's all I need.
I like Baby Yoda masks.
Right.
She made everything.
All right. So you go your gold digger route.
Yeah.
You convince the 10 or the 1.
I'm not doing anything freaky for this $1 million. I just want you to hand it to me.
Right.
So how do I get it that way?
But let's say you get it. What's the plan after that? Are you just setting up shop? Are you buying one extravagant thing, or is it just going in the S&P 500 to live off the interest?
It is I'm not spending it at all. It's giving me absolute peace of mind for the rest of my life. Like, I know it's there, and no matter what happens to me, like, I have got security. You have, and that's the thing is, it's like, whatever. I have no complaints about my life and our situation. It's excellent compared to most.
You're not buying one extravagant thing, though?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like what it buys me is peace of mind. Yeah. That's what I'm buying by taking that money. That is the only thing I need.
I am going to buy some stocks, which I'm not. I still have money that way. I'm not spending the money. I'm going to increase the money.
Oh, I'm most certainly getting a country club membership at a nice country club around here.
I'm going to pay off my bills. I'm going to be debt-free, and I'm going to buy some stock in NVIDIA and put the rest in the bank.
Okay.
Buy some stock in NVIDIA now.
I should.
Yeah. You can do that.
Yeah.
You should be playing the stock market.
I should have bought it in 2020.
Carrie asked a very important question. Let's say tomorrow at some point you get hit up. Someone here heard you.
Yeah.
And says, all right, Kelly, I want you to have peace of mind. Here's your $1 million.
Okay, yeah.
Are we seeing you at work on Monday?
100% you're seeing me. I have to have something to do with my day.
Okay.
I need a
she
schedule.
Asked, would you quit radio with that kind of money?
Never.
No. Not $1 million.
Never, but I would have maybe like a slightly worse attitude.
Worse attitude.
Well, because now she's got
the I don't need you people attitude.
I don't need you.
That's why they call it FU money.
Right. Oh, absolutely. 100%. I agree.
What about, would you come back?
I would come back. In previous jobs, no.
Yeah.
But since I've gotten here to work with you two and do this show.
I know, we love each other so much in here.
It's really, when you think about it, it's only $1 million.
That's true.
Right. It is not
now,
an astronomical amount of money.
What if you got 100 million, Goose? Later.
I feel like we're all showing up for the short term. We got to feel this thing out.
Dude, I'm going to be sitting here going, you know what I could be doing right now? You know what I could be doing right now?
We got to feel out this new money sitch.
I might have to walk into the boss's office, the tall, thin guy, and be like, hey, why don't you retire and just give me the building? And just buy
the company.
Yeah, buy North American Broadcasting from him. That way. And then I would just show up on the morning show when I wanted to show up. Right. Be like, I'm not going to be here next week.
We'll have special guest Goose in today.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's the Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
The cleanup continues in Whitehall after a large kerosene spill. Crews still trying to contain the spill of 2,500 gallons of kerosene from railroad tankers on East 5th Avenue. The fuel has moved down 2 creeks to the areas around Robinwood Avenue, Etna Street, Kimberly Parkway, and north of Refugee Road. Authorities are asking residents to stay away from Turkey Run and Mason Run creeks. The suspect in the fatal shooting of 2 Israeli embassy staff members outside of an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum in D.C. last night chanted, quote, "Free, free Palestine," after being taken into custody. D.C. police say Yaron Lishinsky and Sarah Lynn Milgram, both staff members at the Israeli embassy, were shot at close range last night and killed as they left the event. The suspect, identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, was promptly taken into custody at the scene. A Minnesota woman in her 80s is now living with stage 5 kidney disease after a surgeon who was supposed to remove her spleen accidentally removed her left kidney. What? According to a recently filed lawsuit, Wendy Rappaport of Plymouth, Minnesota, went to the hospital for a splenectomy. But instead, the surgeon, Dr. Devin Callahan, and this is according to the lawsuit, it's all alleged, Dr. Devin Callahan allegedly removed her left kidney, which, by the way, was perfectly healthy, unlike the one they left her with, the right one, which has now put her in stage 5 kidney disease. She ended up in the hospital for 2 months after this botched surgery because, number one, her abscessed spleen was still in there. All right, so they still had that issue to deal with. Then one of her lungs collapsed. She went into respiratory failure and heart failure. They managed to get her, up and moving again. She's
somewhat
kicking. Somewhat stable, but she now is on regular dialysis to stay alive because she's got just the one kidney now. Her lawyers say that they are seeking fair compensation from the surgeon and the hospital.
So, not only do you have to go in if you're getting, your arm amputated and write, not this one on your arm, but now you have to cut yourself open, get your Sharpie on your kidney and be like, not this one.
I feel like a
surgery.
Kidney and a spleen look completely different. Are they is the left kidney and the spleen even on the same side of the body? I don't know.
Well, from my combined viewings of Doogie Howser, MD, and House, I can tell you they look completely different.
Okay, the spleen is located in the upper left quadrant of the abdomen, behind the stomach and under the diaphragm.
Yeah.
So I guess it might be close to the left kidney, or no? It kind of looks like it's way up here under
I think the left
cage.
kidney's lower.
Feels like the kidneys are lower. Where is the left kidney now?
From my "Did he touch you there" doll, I can tell you the kidney is...
Oh, it's in the upper left quadrant of the abdomen. So behind the diaphragm, slightly lower than the right kidney. Okay. So they're not far apart.
Well, yeah. Okay, I get that. But you should also be able to tell the difference between the two. I've seen a Wendy's and a McDonald's in the same parking lot. I know which one I'm going to.
I feel like
just because they're close together doesn't mean you shouldn't know which one you're headed to.
I think they do cover that in medical school.
Yeah, you would think.
In surgeon school.
Yeah.
I just asked if the kidney and spleen look alike, and AI says, no, the kidney and spleen do not look alike.
Right. That's like saying, hey, look, the Golden Arches and Wendy are exactly looking the same.
The spleen is wedge-shaped, and the kidneys are bean-shaped.
They both look like an ear to me.
Wedge and bean. Oh, well, I hope you'll never become a kidney surgeon.
I'm not going to. I'm just looking
surgeon.
at both of them, right? A graphic of them. They do look similar.
No, they don't. Not to a trained surgeon.
Not to a trained surgeon, you would think.
I'd love to know where this guy graduated from. Anyway, I do hope that this woman in her 80s gets millions upon millions of dollars to end her life in high fashion.
Well, now she's going to have to go back in once they find a kidney donor to give her a healthy kidney and take the bad kidney.
Will they, though, because of her age and probably delicate health situation now?
Probably not.
I mean, I'm guessing you don't even qualify to be on the transplant list at that point.
You're right. Do you give a healthy kidney to someone who's 30?
But this woman, yes, otherwise, she shut down, basically, after this. You can't put this woman through surgery again. You just can't do it. Can you? Oh, life. That's a cruel, cruel twist of fate. All right, those are your 3 things.
Oh, you done messed up, Aaron. Let me tell you, you done messed up big.
D-nice.
Hey, Aaron, you messed up big. I'm talking to you, Thick. Not only am I on a 2-game win streak, but you just played one of my top 3 favorite songs from my all-time favorite band before we play Think Fast.
Oh, so you gave him a hype song.
You done messed up. I didn't take my headphones off that entire song.
I noticed. I couldn't talk to you.
No.
Oh, I wish you would have played Queen, but that's okay.
Whoever calls in right now, 800-821-9970, because we need 2 contestants. Whoever the first person to call in, you better pick me if you want these tickets. I'm telling you.
I agree. I agree. My brain doesn't think fast, and the name of the game's Think Fast. I do need a pause. And so it's always good when Goose has to think for a second. It gives me a chance to get right in there, baby.
It does. 800-821-9970. We need 2 representatives right now for tickets to Stained and Breaking Benjamin this Sunday, Riverbend Music Center in Cincinnati. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Good morning. It's Randa praying for round 2.
Randa. All right, Randa. Who do you want to go with, Goose or Kelly?
Kelly.
Yes! Oh, you've made a big mistake, but I love your confidence, Randa.
All right, let's find our other representative. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Gerald.
Gerald. All right, Gerald. You are going to be with me, so it's the guys versus the girls today. It's very simple. Randa, Gerald, we're going to put you on hold as your duly appointed representatives. We're going to play a game of Think Fast. It's very simple. Thick's going to give us a category. He's going to name something in that category with a particular letter. First person to come up with an answer gets a point. The most points wins. And what category are we going with today, Thick?
I have more school edition Think Fast because... kind of the last week or two, so I thought we'd go ahead and do some more school stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so everything is based around school for Think Fast.
Okay, don't yell, Goose. Be quiet.
He's fired up, man.
I'm jacked.
You should have seen him jam into that Lincoln Park.
I was jumping around the studio.
Dancing and...
I'm going to come at you like a spider monkey.
Playing air drums and...
Yeah. Jacked up on Mountain Dew. Let's go.
Did you have Reese cups too? I mean,
do not. I wish.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
That was the most least confident ready ever.
Arithmetic.
All right, first one. An after-school club you can join that starts with the letter R.
Russian Club. Russian Club.
Yeah, there's
racquetball.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you got to kind of take Russian if the school has Russian.
I would love to hear from someone that's part of the Russian club.
I was in the Spanish club, so
okay,
I'm assuming there's a Russian club somewhere.
I don't know if there's a Russian club, but okay. Okay.
I do know there's reading and robotics.
There's robotics, yes.
Reading?
There's a reading.
As an after-school club?
There's a reading club,
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense, like a book club.
Yeah.
You know, kids reading and all.
I told you thinking fast is not my forte.
Reading is fundamental.
There's only 2 people in the reading club at my school out of 522. All right. So Kelly's got a point.
It's not going to be a shutout like it was last time.
A school event outside of class that starts with the letter D.
Driving class.
That's good. I'll accept that. An event?
If we're going to take Russian.
An event.
Oh.
Not event. Dance. A
Yes.
dance. I will not accept your clear answer.
Driving class is not an event, right?
Okay.
I mean...
All right.
A debate.
What horrible dance moves are those?
I'm trying to break dance to
give
to
my. That was
will give me
not
some
good.
easy-
That was not good.
That is not going to get you a free point.
You look like they just set you up outside of a used car lot before a big Memorial Day sale. What wacky wavy arm thing was that?
All right.
All right, here we go. Kelly's up, 2-0. Something you did at recess that starts with the letter H.
Hung by the
Hang on
hang
the jungle bars. Hung by the hang bars and hung by the jungle bars. That's what we both said. We are insane.
Man, I guess that would be something that starts with the letter H, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But
What were you going for?
Oh, I don't know. There's hopscotch, hide and seek, helicopter. I mean,
Oh. Well, no, we hung from the monkey bars.
yeah.
Which I said first and I got the point.
You did. I think hang came out of your mouth
Yeah.
first. I couldn't understand either one of you after hung and hang.
Adjectives usually used to describe me, yes.
Just made thick.
Damn it. All right. Kelly's up 2-1. Here we go. A type of art supply that starts with the letter C.
Chalk.
Wait.
He said clay. I said chalk.
clay. I think you got her by a hair.
I don't
Yes,
think
I
so.
did.
That is BS.
Absolutely, I did.
You are
Clay
nuts.
came out of my mouth before.
Lay it back.
We will go to the replay.
I said
I
chalk.
can't right
and
now.
I said clay
Okay.
right away.
First of all, you're like 6'10", and you've got a giant booming voice. All right? Like, you might be louder than me, but you didn't do it before me. All right.
That one came out.
2-2. Go on.
Blitz Nation, let us know 99-700. 99-700. Who got that? Who got that first? If you can tell us, and then we'll apply the point.
It's not who's louder. Remember,
yes,
it's who says it first.
Which is why I won that round.
A lunchroom food that starts with the letter P.
Pizza. Thank you.
Well, there was no question about that one. All right. A sport in gym class that starts with the letter B.
Basketball.
Yes.
Was I quiet enough on that one?
You were first. I still can't think of one. What else was there to be?
Baseball?
In gym
Bocce-ball?
class?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like your attitude over there. I do not like it.
Badminton? Okay. A hallway behavior that gets you in trouble, starting with the letter R.
Running.
No.
Oh, Kelly got it first. Kelly got it first.
I knew you were going to say R. I should have said running before it even came out of your mouth.
Kelly got it. Kelly, I
will tell you this. Everybody's saying Goose was first.
Yeah, okay, you guys. You really turned on me here.
Turn on you, just being honest. Oh. I thought he was first.
Cheater.
I did. All right. Kelly needs one more to win. A school class that starts with the letter H.
Help.
Oh,
did you just say the SH word?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No.
I was going to say home ec, and I couldn't get ec out. I said home.
That would have been acceptable too, but Kelly was first with health, so Kelly has 5. Look at that. Is some dance going on over here, man.
Don't stop me.
That isn't dance. That's a convulsion. That is not a dance.
I'm having a ball.
I'm having such a good time.
Oh, we need video of this.
I'm dabbing.
Just give me a call. Don't stop me now.
Speaking of dance, which was one of your answers, you look like you're at the school dance with Charlie Brown and Peppermint Patty right now with your moves over there.
Take it. I love it. That's the best scene of any
Linus
Charlie Brown.
is on the
That's
piano.
right, baby.
Man.
Miranda.
Woohoo.
Hey, Gerald.
Yes.
You were cheated. I'm giving you tickets.
Oh, my God.
I do see a trend that every time I win a game, he gives prizes to both contestants, which I don't hate. I just hope that the next time he wins,
tell Gerald
he
he
gives
can't
my
go.
person.
Tell Gerald he can't go.
No, I just said I like it. But I want you to extend the same courtesy.
But wait a minute. You got the point for the one that everybody thought was a tie.
Right.
All right, but she still got the other 5. How did you get cheated? Because
Miranda, Gerald, you're both going to go down to Cincinnati this Sunday. Stained and Breaking Benjamin. You'll both be there. Hang on 1 second. 9-7 the Blitz. All right, you're waking up on a Thursday. It's going to be cool. It's going to be rainy. We're not even going to see 60 today. It's been like that over the past couple days. Just not having a good week. Let's see if we can make you feel a little bit better about yourself as I visit one of my favorite websites, F My Life. This is where people go on and complain about things going on in their life so you can feel a little bit better about yours. Like this person. Today I had to share my room with my cousin while she stayed over. I let her take my bed while I slept on the floor. Not only did my back and neck hurt, but I also now have to clean vomit out of my hair because apparently she wasn't feeling well last night.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Oh.
Today, my boyfriend told me he had to pick up his family from the airport. I assumed he meant his parents. He apologized and said, no, I meant my wife and child. They got their visas sooner than I thought they would.
What? Surprise! And they're all moving in.
Right, exactly. Today, I told my cousin it would be okay if he stayed the weekend after a fight with his wife. He didn't tell me he was bringing his 4 kids who have sat there watching funny cat videos with their horrific maniac laughs all day. That would drive me nuts. Absolutely. Oh. Today, I treated myself to an hour-long massage. Halfway through, I mumbled, "Thank you," to the masseuse. And without thinking, I also added, "I love you." There was a very long, awkward pause. Then she patted me on my head and whispered, "You're welcome." I don't know what's worse, the whisper or the response.
Yeah, you got a half hour to go on that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
the
good.
shame.
I think I'm good. I feel great. I'll see you.
Yeah, exactly. No, keep the rest of the money.
Yeah.
I'll pay you for the hour.
Right.
I'm leaving. Today, I was at a party at the house of the guy I really like. We were talking when he pulled me into his room. I was excited, thinking he was finally taking our friendship to the next level, until he handed me a stick of deodorant and said, "I didn't want to say anything in the hallway, but you really need this."
Wow, that's a solid friend, though.
Yeah, right. I want to be told that.
That's a solid friend, but absolute heartbreak.
I mean, you can't ever speak again because it's too embarrassing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And finally, today at the park, I saw my toddler fall. I rushed on over and picked him up, saying, it's okay, Mommy's here." He looked really confused. So did his real mom.
Whoa, I mean, what?
I mean, you get to some of those parks with all those kids about the same ages.
Yeah, you can't tell who belongs to
Right,
who.
exactly. They all kind of look the same at that age, don't they? Yeah. You know, FML, it's 99.7 The Blitz. All right, you ever have someone borrow your car and you're like, "Hey, just so you know, if you do go on the highway, if you get above 65, there's a little shimmy in the wheel because you got the old clunker or something," and you just got to warn people if they're borrowing this item, just watch out for this.
Yeah.
What would happen if it somehow was your body, right? You know, borrow your body for a week. What's that one thing you would warn them about just to watch out for? Be like, "Hey, just so you know, if you ever walk in to the building here at the Blitz, for some reason your allergies are going to go into overdrive and you're going to spend the entire morning blowing your nose and sneezing like I do." Pretty much.
That's the warning.
Every single morning, yeah. If you're going to borrow my body,
right,
don't come to the radio station because the allergies are going to kick into high gear.
Yeah.
Kelly, what's that one thing you would warn people about?
Mine is...
They're borrowing your body.
I hope that you enjoy lying awake at about 1 a.m. thinking about every single possible problem that could ever cross your path. And having to figure it all out right then.
Right then and there.
Yeah, that will be happening. So
okay.
Yeah.
Thick, what's that warning you're sending out?
Actually, it'd be two. One, your feet hurt because they're still recovering from Sonic Temple.
Okay.
And two, ignore the hole in your fingernail. The drill hole is healed, but the hole is, and it's funny because the hole went up. You know, if anybody, I don't know who's listening to heard that, I drilled a hole through my finger with a
drill bit went right through the finger. 1/32
inch drill bit from the bottom up through the nail, right by the cuticle. Now the hole has moved out a little bit as the nail grows, so the nail's
it's just going to keep going up.
So when you see that little hole in your nail, just ignore it. It's fine. It's healing.
It's a good warning because I'd be a little. I came into a new body and I'm like, wait a minute, why do I have a hole in my finger? That'd be a little weird. 800-821-9970. Give us a call. What's that one thing if someone borrowed your body for a week that you would warn them about? I love that 7133 said if someone borrowed my body, I would say, "Hey, don't ever trust a fart."
Okay.
Hey, I get it. I am at the age now where 100% of the time I clinch before I sneeze. I'm not taking any chances whatsoever.
1695 says you're going to love spicy food, but it's going to get you in the end.
Yeah, literally in the end. Absolutely. Let's see. Bill says if someone borrowed my body, I'd warn them that the right knee is trash. You're going to be walking and all of a sudden it's just going to pop. Yeah, that's the worst.
Ashley says have fun always being tired and dehydrated.
Yep. Lindsay says I have fibromyalgia. Watch out for that. Yeah, that would be a bad one. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. We want to hear from you as to what's that one thing you would warn people about if they borrowed your body. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Deanna.
Deanna, what's that one thing you would warn people about if they borrowed your body for a week?
Make sure to take the medication for your ears.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, what happens if I don't?
You're going to feel drunk the next day.
No kidding. What health issue is this?
there's little stones in the top of your ear canal called canalifts, and they control your equilibrium. If I do not take the medication, I'm drunk.
Wow.
How much money can you save to have a good time?
Right.
You're like, tomorrow I want to party it up, so I'm just not going to take my medication in the morning. And then I'm like, woo! It's a good ride.
No, it's not cool.
Dang.
All right. Wow. How long did that take to figure out? Like, were you going to the doctor? You're like, something's weird. My equilibrium's off. Did they know right where to look?
Well, they didn't. I had to go to an audiologist. And then I had to take a bunch of tests of them checking my eyes. And then they put these little pressure things in your ears. And I was off the charts.
And then they sent you home and said, you just have anxiety. That's what they like to do to women.
They do that a lot. That is true. Well, Deanna, thank you so much for the call. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. Someone borrows your body for a week. What's that one thing you're going to warn them to keep an eye out for? We'd love to hear from you right now. It's 99.7 The Blitz. Remember that time years ago when your neighbor wanted to borrow the lawnmower, and you're like, "Hey, just so you know, that it takes about three pulls to get that thing started." You got to warn people when they borrow something, if there's something a little off about it. Which is why we're talking about the human body. If someone were to borrow your body for a week, what's that one thing you would warn them about? Becky, good morning, Becky.
Good morning.
What is that one thing you would warn someone about if they borrowed your body?
Okay. I would warn them that if they didn't take the 2,000 milligrams of Keppra a day, that they would go into seizures. And I actually did that on a Saturday. My daughter and I were getting ready to run errands, and I had small seizures. The last time, I went to tell her something, and I couldn't get out what I wanted to say. So she's like, "Do you want me to drive?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And the last thing I remember is getting in the passenger side of my car and grabbing the seatbelt, and I woke up at Riverside. That was Saturday. I woke up at Riverside on Monday with a tube down my throat and restrained. My longest seizure was 55 minutes.
Good Lord. Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad everything worked out. You definitely don't want to have to deal with that. For sure, because then you got to warn people, be like, "Hey, I am not breakdancing. Something is medically wrong here. You're going to want to make sure I have my medicine for sure." Let's see. We've got Perry. Good morning, Perry.
Good morning.
Perry, what's that one thing you would warn people about your body if they borrowed it?
I am blind in my left eye.
I would want that
warning. Yeah,
for sure.
Because I'd be afraid that I did it. I borrowed your body, and I'd be like, "Oh crap! Did I blind this guy?"
Yeah. Oh no, I got to give this body back, and he doesn't have his left vision anymore.
What happened? Is that just from birth, or is that did you have an accident from birth?
Nope, birth defect.
All right. Okay.
So you've had it your whole life. It's been no big deal.
That is a good warning for sure, Perry. Thank you for the call, Mike. Good morning.
Morning.
Mike, what's that one thing you would warn people about if they borrowed your body?
I speak before I think.
Oh.
And I'm full of sarcasm.
Yeah.
You should avoid Walmart.
That's our Waffle House.
I have got that problem as well. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm also blind in my third eye.
Your third eye. Okay.
All right, I gotcha.
Hey, when that happens.
I hope so.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I really appreciate it. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
It's Alan.
Alan, if someone borrows your body, what's that one thing you're going to warn them about?
Be careful putting your socks on. You might pull something in your back.
Yes.
Oh, you got to stretch out before you put the socks on.
You got to be real slow, because sometimes you go for that like reach, and you bend over too fast, like that, and then there's the back just gone. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the call. What you got, Vic?
Shawnee said, I have IBS. I have to ish no matter what store I'm shopping in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good warning.
You got IBS. You got to warn someone for sure. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, all right, I'm listening.
3 things you need to know before you go.
Lieutenant Governor Jim Tressel says he is in a fact-finding mode in a potential run for the Republican nomination for governor. This after Republican Attorney General Dave Yost pulled out of the race last week, leaving businessman Vivek Ramaswamy as the front-runner. Ramaswamy has been endorsed by President Trump and the Ohio Republican Party. The only announced Democrat is former Ohio Health Director Dr. Amy Acton. The United States has officially accepted a luxury jet to use as Air Force One from Qatar. The Pentagon says the Secretary of Defense has accepted a Boeing 747 from Qatar in accordance with all federal rules and regulations. The Department of Defense will work, it says, to ensure proper security measures and functional mission requirements are considered for an aircraft used to transport the President of the United States. So there are 2 Boeing 747s that serve as Air Force One. They went into service in the early 90s. So Boeing has been trying to replace those 2 Boeing 747s for years. But the projects have been delayed. So the department is like, hey, we're going to take this big fat jet from Qatar. We're going to use that. And then when Boeing has the other ones ready, then I guess they're going to transfer ownership of the Qatar jet to something like the Trump Presidential Library Foundation.
Right.
I don't know, something like that. So that's the deal there. A University of Buffalo graduate was chased across the stage by police during the commencement ceremony on Sunday. Why? Because he was carrying a prohibited item while he tried to collect his diploma. That prohibited item was his baby. The student's name is Jean-Paul Al-Arab. He dressed his cute little baby in matching royal blue cap and gown. Oh, this cute kid. And he's like, he says he got permission beforehand when he took the graduation class. Like, what are we supposed to do? He's like, hey, I've been managing, caring for my son and, all this.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Is it cool? Like, if I dress him in a cap and gown, bring him, to collect my diploma. They're like, yeah, that's fine. No problem. But I guess the school rules do prohibit that. So the police were hassling him when he was in the line. They were already there just for, crowd management.
Right.
And he was getting ready to go get his diploma, but there were some people ahead of him. They were hassling him. Then apparently 2 faculty members were hassling him about putting the kid down. And he's like, I don't think so. And he took off running. He went onto the stage with this cute kid dressed in a cap and gown. He's shaking the hands of the graduation officials. They're loving it. They're laughing, having a great time. The crowd is roaring. They're cheering. And then the cops come up and escort him off the stage. Boo! Man. So anyway, the school says, look, Jean-Paul knew the rules. He said, actually, I didn't. I asked
Then who did he get permission from?
Somebody who was conducting this graduation class, and apparently they gave him the wrong info. So it really wasn't his fault, although I guess he shouldn't have, took off running from the cops.
Then he body slammed the kid into a card table and yelled, Bill's Mafia!
No, that did not happen.
That's what they do up there. The Bills Mafia. They body slam each other into those tables.
Okay.
I think they're big
their babies, though.
Yeah,
no.
So Jean-Paul apologized. I'm sorry. I really wanted to do this, and somebody said it was okay, so I did it. And the university said, yeah, you knew you weren't supposed to do it, but you'll still get your diploma. So it's all turning out just fine.
Good.
And those are your 3 things.
You're going to dress your baby up. You know what the family went through as he was trying to get his diploma and how hard he had to work. Let him carry the baby. What's the big deal? All right, let's do some football talk real quick because there's quite a bit of information that came out yesterday. The first being that they've been going over some rule changes at the owners and GMs meetings that they do every single spring. And it has been confirmed that the tush push will stay in the NFL.
Thankfully.
They were looking at banning it, and they did pass the vote by 2 votes to keep the tush push as a play.
I want to know who's voting again to get rid of that. Look, I hate the Eagles. They run it better than any team in the league, and I hate them, but they should be allowed to do it. It's a legitimate football
Cowboys
play.
voted against it.
Why? Well, because they've gotten beat by it. Probably. But I don't care. Just because you can't stop something, that doesn't mean you change the rules. This isn't politics.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the difference between that or any other run straight up the middle.
It's quarterback sneak.
Right.
It's just the way they do it, the way they get all bunched together, but they're running a legitimate legal football play, and you're going to just ban it because somebody thinks it's dangerous? Have you seen a punt return? For God's sakes.
I can't tell you how many times this past season we saw, as a Detroit Lions fan, like Gibbs running the football, or even more Montgomery running the football, and when he would get initially hit, how many times linemen would get it, and you just start pushing. It's the same thing. So
it's a team sport.
You will see the tush push in the NFL next season. If you're looking forward to the Madden movie, know that the cast is changing up a little bit because apparently just 2 weeks into production, one of the supporting actors walked off because apparently he didn't want to do the full nudity scene in the locker room. Even though, according to the production team, cast and crew were told there is a nude scene, there is a locker room scene. NFL players do walk around nude in the NFL, in the locker room. They actually had an intimacy coordinator come in to try and make the actor feel more comfortable.
Can't they do like a stand-in wang or whatever?
Stunt wang!
Stunt wang, come on in!
I would love that job. Are you a stunt man? No, I'm a stunt wang. That'd be pretty great.
It pays pretty well, from what I hear.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't looked up the salaries on stunt wangs, but now I really want to. The movie, no release date yet, but very much looking forward to it. And finally, I actually saw this a couple weeks ago pop up, but 614 Magazine got their hands on the article because Elite College Football created a study to determine college football's 10 most toxic fan bases. And here's the deal. Coming in at number 10, Michigan with a 6.8. Florida State with a 6.9. This is out of a perfect 10 score. Alabama, 7.6. Texas, 7.8. Tennessee, 8.2. Miami, 8.3. Colorado, 8.5. I bet you they've taken a big jump since Deion joined.
Oh, yeah.
And how they're all high and mighty on what's going on over there. Georgia, 8.8. Florida, 8.9. And coming at number 1 with a perfect 10. I give it a 10.
Perfect score.
Perfect score. Ohio State, the most toxic fan base.
We win again.
Yeah, we won this.
We cannot stop winning.
That was, there was another one done back in December, and they were ranked number 1, and I don't disagree with it, man.
I don't either.
We are just, what do you think, Kelly?
I think everyone else can eat it because we're great.
Well, okay, yeah, but that doesn't mean the fan base isn't toxic.
I don't care.
Well, you don't care if we're toxic.
Yeah, I don't know what you're trying to nail down here, but who cares? We're number 1 on this list. That's all I care about.
All you care about. Number 1.
I mean, no, seriously though. Remember when people were threatening Ryan Day and his family?
Yeah, that was dumb.
I mean, come on, man, that's absurd.
That was dumb.
And we've had other players. I remember they did this to our kicker once.
Threatening
them. I mean, you can't.
Now,
these are college kids, man. They're 18, 19, 20 years old.
Believe me, as someone who went through some terrible 20 teens with Rich Rod and Hoke and all that kind of stuff. After a couple years when Harbaugh wasn't winning, there was
I'm
too,
sure.
For sure. But I said he's not leaving. He's not leaving.
Yeah.
He's not done yet.
And it was worth waiting for.
It was worth waiting for, exactly. So
we are not. We're not entitled to win every game and beat Michigan and win the championship every single year.
Why don't you pipe down over there?
Well, no, I'm not, because it's real. I'm sorry. I agree with this. 100%. We are horribly toxic.
100%. And I see it more in college than I do in NFL. But when you've got teams like Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, Texas, OSU, the expectations of 15-0 and winning a national championship every single year, and it's like
it's mostly just chock full of the most successful programs. So your fan base is going to start having expectations.
Right.
That's it.
Yes.
Can't help it.
I was born and raised here. Ohio State Buckeyes were on in my house every Saturday since the day I was born. I love them over everybody. But, yeah, man, sometimes our fans, I'm like, come on. It's like when I asked last year, would you rather beat Michigan or win the national championship? And 80% said I'd rather beat Michigan. You got to be kidding me. This is not your great-grandpa's college football anymore.
Well, Doug, I couldn't agree with you more from your text. At least you beat Michigan in something.
Woohoo!
99.7 The Blitz.
Yes, finally.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, so tomorrow marks the 2-week mark until we make the move, the official move. Nora and the boys come down here. We're getting ready for the pod to be dropped off so we can start loading things in, and got the keys to the new place, and, just going through all the things. I think she donated 7 bags of clothes yesterday.
It feels so good, I think. I mean, it's like a hard work, but getting rid of a bunch of stuff feels so cleansing.
She said the curb was filled, and then not even 3 or 4 hours later, the curb was the pickers made their way through. Took all the stuff, and
that's good.
I guess they ripped open some of the bags, So, yeah, I said this is the perfect time. We're purging a whole bunch of stuff, which is great. However, if you're going to ask someone to move, make sure you get rid of the dead body first. Yes, this took place in Harris County in Pennsylvania, where a 36-year-old man asked his neighbor to help him move some furniture out of his home, and the guy said, sure, I got nothing going on. So the two of them went to grab a heavy box in the driveway before the helping hands noticed something terrifying inside. That's where they saw the body.
Oh.
Luis Silva Mendez, a longtime contractor for Eberly, the man who owned the house, and his girlfriend, suffered multiple stab wounds before being put in a box.
Dang.
How did you forget he was in the box? The audacity to ask your neighbor, hey, can you help me move this box, knowing that there's a body inside?
I mean, you really can't move it on your own. That's heavy.
That is heavy. That's a bunch of dead weight right there. Literally.
Yes.
So you got to be careful. You don't want to throw your back out trying to move the body.
No.
You got to lift with your knees, and sometimes they've got that little picture of the 2-person lift. So you got to make sure you get that help.
Agreed.
You would think it would be someone who knew about the dead body, not someone who's just going to be like, oh, hey, there's a dead body in the box. Because most likely that person's going to call 911, which is exactly what happened. Yeah. Our second story today takes us to China, where a 26-year-old man arrived at a hospital suffering from a cough that was persistent, lasting about a week, and he also had a high fever. They initially thought he had some sort of respiratory infection, so they were giving him the medication needed. However, he ended up getting worse, not viral pneumonia or COVID like they thought. No, after some further tests and finding ground glass oocytes in his lungs, which I have no idea what those are, it turned out that it was parrot chlamydia.
Parrot?
Wow.
Parrot chlamydia is what it's called. It is a form of bacteria, a form of chlamydia that is found in birds, causes flu-like illnesses when you come in contact with infected birds, and can leave someone suffering from the symptoms of severe pneumonia and can lead to brain and heart inflammation.
I mean,
man, I would be so mad if I went through my college years and my 20s without catching anything, and all of a sudden the chlamydia I catch is from a parrot.
And you know what everybody's going to be thinking about you and the parrot.
100%. 100%. You did what with a parrot? How do you catch parrot chlamydia?
Oh.
No, actually, it's an airborne illness that's actually found in bird poop.
Sure.
He was near a chicken coop. Apparently, breathed in some things he's not supposed to breathe in.
Sure, he did.
And so, caught himself a case of parrot chlamydia. Thankfully, it is curable, and he will be okay. They could see some lasting issues in his respiratory system, but all in all, he will survive the parrot chlamydia. Bird, get your STD shot, Bird! It's 99.7 The Blitz. All right, I don't know if anyone's going to call in and admit to this. We'll see. Because there's a story that just came out, and it's like a good news story, a good vibe story, where a class ring from 1938 was just found and returned. This is unbelievable. It was found in a parking lot by some guy, and he did a little research and found out where the family was. Unfortunately, the person who owned the class ring had passed away. And in fact, that person's son had also passed away. But found the granddaughter. And the granddaughter remembers her father carrying around the class ring and wearing the class ring in honor of her grandpa, who was the original owner of the class ring from 1938. And I bring this up because my family could never afford a class ring, so I didn't get one. And I never got a letter jacket because I wasn't an athlete, so I didn't get the cool letter jacket. But it got me thinking back to high school, and I was thinking about the cool kids because I wasn't one of the cool kids in high school. But every high school has them. There's a social structure in high school. There's a hierarchy, and I think pretty much anyone can remember the cool guy or the cool girl from high school. Do you remember the cool guy or cool girl from high school? I do.
The cool guy and cool girl dated. Football player, head cheerleader.
Always.
Stereotypical.
Super popular.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then from there, if you've seen any movie that deals with meeting up with old friends or reunions, the cool guy either goes on to be a really successful jerk or like a used car salesman or something. So I want to know, 800-821-9970. Will you brag for it? Were you the cool person in high school? Were you one of the most popular people in your class? And what are you doing now? I'm just curious. What are you up to
radio.
now?
I'm just kidding. I was not the cool person. No, definitely not.
Cy? What was his not Cy? His last name? Anthony Cipher. That was his name. Anthony Cipher was the cool kid.
What's Anthony doing?
Anthony actually is the I don't know if he's a jerk, but he is successful. I have seen things on Facebook. He went on to financial something. But he was like a J.C. Penney model or something, like his junior and senior year. He had the slick back, Zach Morris, blonde hair, good looking. You know, he was definitely the popular one in high school.
Okay.
Vic, do you remember the popular one in high school?
Oh, I couldn't tell you what they're doing now.
Do you remember who it was, though?
I honestly... No, I can't even come up with names. I didn't hang out with him.
Maybe it was you.
No,
That's
it definitely
why you
was
can't
not.
remember.
No, it was not me.
I do remember the.
I mean, I was cool, but not everybody knew it. That was.
So to us.
That's what it was.
You hid the coolness, Cher.
Although they did like to watch us breakdance.
There is that. the cool female actually won Miss Teen USA my senior year.
No kidding.
She was Miss Michigan and ended up winning Miss Teen USA when she was a senior in high school. So, who was the cool kid? Were you the top tier of the social pyramid in high school? And what are you up to now? 800-821-9970. I would love if someone is not afraid to admit to this and brag on themselves a little bit. Like, I was the cool person in high school. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is Bree.
Bree.
Bree, that sounds like a popular girl's name.
It does sound like the popular girl's name. Were you the cool girl in school, Bree?
I was not the cool kid in school, but 3/4 of the cool kids that I did go to school with are now either in jail or fat and have multiple kids.
That does happen.
Yep.
That does happen for sure.
All the kids that made fun of me are now either in jail or just not doing well in life.
Yeah, that's the other kind of route that happens sometimes. Thank you so much for the call, Bree.
Do you think they get full of themselves and think they don't have to try anymore because they peaked so young? Now they don't think they have to try anymore, and it just all goes downhill.
Could be. A total possibility. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, this is Bo Delancey.
Bo, were you the cool kid in school?
I was not the cool kid in school. I had my group of friends, but definitely was not an athlete or anything like that.
Okay. Did you have... I can tell you this. I had this in high school that was also pretty stereotypical. My close-knit group of friends, there were like 6 or 7 of us, and we definitely had the categories. You know, each one of us kind of fit our little role in our friend group. We had the preppy kid. We had the redneck with the big pickup truck. I was kind of the class clown funny one. We had the one who was a great student. You were the class clown funny one?
I was the class clown funny one. And yes, and now it's kind of funny because I actually drive truck. I'm a fuel hauler. And I'm very successful. Me and my wife bought my house.
Yeah, absolutely.
7 years, so you don't have to be the most popular kid in school to be successful. I can tell you that first.
No, I completely agree with you 100%. And in fact, most of the not cool kids are doing better than the cool kids, without a doubt. So I appreciate your call. Matt, the truck driver, texted in, and he might be completely right on this. He said, "You're barking up the wrong tree. Everyone that listens to the Blitz is misfits and outcasts."
Yeah. So tell us if what the coolest kids in your school are messed up now.
Yeah, for sure. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Angelica.
Angelica, that's kind of a cool kid's name. You just sound pretty and modelish, and you did your makeup and hair every morning.
I am from Russia. I'm from Russia in Columbus now.
Okay, so all right, no, this is. I would love to do a little deep dive here. Did you go to high school in Russia?
Yes, and it's a little bit different hierarchy in Russia.
I was going to ask, did they have the cool kids in Russia, or is it more level playing field?
Yes, we do have cool kids, but they're more like the ones who are not going to school the most. For different reasons.
Oh,
not
like
they're
school. Hanging out and smoking cigarettes, skipping class.
Not either that, or if you're a sportsman. So I was an athlete, and I was always not at school because I was on the track, I was traveling, I was at the competitions.
Oh.
But then I had to come back and do the exams, and I still did it. But then I went to the USA. So that made me even cooler.
Yes. So they let you travel and miss school if you're doing athletics in hopes that you'll continue to train and get in the Olympics and then, support,
make Russia proud.
Make Russia proud for your country and win the Olympic medals. Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate the call. Thank you so much, and glad you're in Columbus.
Oh, we heard from a cool kid. I love it.
Oh, I love that.
All right, 800-821-9970. Let's see if I want to find a cool kid and talk about what they're doing now. Or if you know what the cool kids are up to, give us a call. 800-821-9970. It's 997 The Blitz. All right, I went down this little rabbit hole because I read this story this morning about a class ring from 1938 that was just found. Hunted down the family. They got the class ring back. It was amazing. I never had a class ring. Couldn't afford it. Never had a leather jacket. I wasn't an athlete. I was not cool in high school. But I wanted to talk to a cool kid because you usually go one of two routes. You're either really successful or and a jerk, or you're a used car salesman. It's basically how it usually goes. Rebecca, good morning. Were you the cool kid in school?
I was cool adjacent.
Cool adjacent, okay.
Like best friends with the cool kids.
Yeah, so I was a star first baseman for softball in our school, and I dated the track star, and he was way more popular than I was.
Okay.
I mean, we know from the movies that automatically makes you cool.
Kind of, yeah.
Like,
you got
are
that
in, girl.
You got that cool drip off going.
The in crowd.
Cool adjacent.
Yeah. Yeah, you got like Nickelodeon, slimed and cool, basically. I like it.
All right.
And so, what happened to you and the star track athlete?
So he is now bald and has 2 kids, still living in our hometown. I fortunately made it out, and I am a home pastry chef.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're the cool kid. Rebecca, thank you for the call so much. Jesse, good morning. Were you the cool kid in school?
Yeah, I am the cool kid. It sounds like the track guy dumped her, and she's a little bitter, but that's okay.
Oh, that's something a cool kid would say.
So typical.
She's only as cool as long as he dated her. You know what I mean?
Man, Jesse.
Well, he's the one who ended up still in the small town bald,
Yeah, that's true.
Right. She sounded bitter.
Please tell me you're calling from prison. Please.
We can tell whose side you're on, Kelly.
No.
That's okay. Listen, I'm just being honest with you. No, not prison. I run my own business. I live here in Columbus. I run a pawn shop.
Good job. I love it.
No, I like the school that I went to was here locally. It was Columbus Alternative High School. There's only like 120 some kids. So it cool in our school was a little bit different. You were intelligent. You did sports. I was friends with everybody. I'd go and sit back in the smoking circle and then jump up and play football with my buddies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just cool with everyone.
That's the way to be.
I was cool.
That's cool.
I wasn't the douchebag, cool sports guy. You know what I mean?
I get it. Absolutely.
You can be cool in different ways. You know, I can hang out with anybody.
Here's one thing I can definitely tell. pretty much you have to be in sales. People are buying stuff from you. I can tell you've got the great personality. People are loving talking to you, and I bet you could sell a ketchup popsicle to a white glove. What is it? What's that? Woman with white gloves?
Yeah. White gloves.
All
yeah.
right.
Well, Jesse, we appreciate the call. Thank you so much, man. One more. Drake, were you the cool kid in school?
What is it now?
Were you the cool kid in school?
No, not at all, man. I was like 400 pounds. And I was a popular loner. Like, I knew everybody, but I kind of hung out by myself.
Okay.
And I split away from my hometown, and now I'm in training to be a rigging technician and climb stages.
I love it.
Wow. Okay, so you were the cool kid, but you got the cool job now, working stages and concerts and stuff.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Following up with that, you don't have to pursue college or further education 90% of the time to improve your life. You just have to have work ethic.
Oh, I'm not denying that. You've got that. You've got the technical schools. You know the vocational schools.
Well, if you think about it, we were doing the list of the degrees that only made you $40,000 a year.
Yeah,
the other
for
day,
sure.
You know,
absolutely, 100%.
Bunch of them.
Drake, I appreciate the phone call. Glad that you now got the cool job, even though maybe you weren't the cool person in high school. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, I think I got a pretty cool job. I wasn't the cool kid in high school, so it can all work out.
Yeah.
Just don't get the grades that I got. That is the wrong way to do things. Not some of the Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
Well, I didn't know this was an issue, but the Ohio House has passed a bill to standardize kindergarten age requirements. Apparently, there's been confusion over when you're supposed to start your kid in kindergarten. So, House Bill 114, which passed unanimously, states that your child must be 5 years old by the first day of school. Or no dice. They got to go next year. Now that bill heads to the state Senate. So as the law stands right now, it's up to the district to choose when your child needs to reach age 5 to start kindergarten. You have one of 2 choices as a district. You can choose August 1st or you can choose September 30th. Now, if you're in the district that chose August 1st, and your school actually doesn't start till August 20th. So when the school year starts August 20th,
okay.
Right? So, but you had to be 5 by August 1st in this district. If your kid turns 5 on August 2nd, too bad. You are 6 years old when you're starting kindergarten next year.
Oh.
So people, they don't like that. They want to more standardized. You just have to be 5 by the first day of school, and it looks like it's sort of sailing through the Ohio legislature. A national theater chain is offering $1 movies to keep kids busy this summer. Regal Cinemas has over 400 multiplexes across the country. I can only find one in the Columbus area in Georgesville Square, but let me know where there's another Regal Cinema.
It's the only one I know of.
Because you can do $1 family-friendly movies on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings. The summer lineup starts June 10th with showings of Puss in Boots and Sing 2. So that's kind of fun. $1 movies, not a bad activity. Iron Maiden will begin their Run for Your Lives world tour next week in Budapest, followed by 31 more stadium, festival, and arena shows around Europe. And word is the tour will eventually hit the U.S., though no dates have been announced. Iron Maiden has already sold out most of their concerts. They've sold over 1 million tickets. The band itself is 50 years old. And you know they're old guys because they're asking their fans, please enjoy the show we've created. Please don't excessively film the concerts on your phones or tablets. Who's bringing a tablet to a concert?
That would be weird.
You bring your iPad in there. I feel like an old dude might bring an iPad to a concert.
I would not be surprised, yes.
It made me laugh. But anyway, that's sweet.
Is that all he said?
Yeah, they're basically saying they're not going to be using Yonder pouches or anything like that, but just please, they're creating an experience for you.
Enjoy the moment.
They'd like for you to enjoy the moment.
Didn't he also tell people to leave their weed at home?
Did they? Oh, did he?
Well, don't you remember when I still got the clip. He went off on people smoking weed at his concert. This is Iron Maiden.
That's kind of strange.
I don't know what it is. I mean, there's so many people smoking so much dope down here. I'm amazed you can even see. Poor old Steve, I don't know if you know, but he absolutely hates marijuana and the smell of it, alright? So when he's trying to play bass, it
So he doesn't want to contact
me.
them.
I'm a singer, right? So if you got, I would just ask, tiny bit of respect.
I mean, okay.
Dude, it's a heavy metal concert. What do you, I mean, seriously.
Please, me voice. I'm 66.
I mean, I get it. If I was up on stage and the entire 21st rows are smoking weed, and you're gonna fine, I'm gonna leave. You're messing up my performance. I mean, you don't have a right to smoke weed.
I know,
at the concert.
but it's gonna happen. It's,
Nerd alert.
I gotta believe it should be expected.
Okay, then kick him out.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have the right. If you want to give it a try, sure. I'm not against it.
Okay, though it feels like, not to use a really old term, but it feels like getting yelled at for smoking weed by a metal band is very square.
Square.
Yeah.
You're such a square.
Not disagreeing with you. But if it's going to mess up their performance.
Yeah.
Well, if it is, yeah, I guess I understand that. But I don't think you're going to stop that from happening. I think these people go to these concerts expecting to do it.
Well, how can you juggle a joint and an iPad when you're at an Iron Maiden concert?
Valid question.
All right, guys, those are your three things.
How many times have you been doom scrolling and you come across like a fashion show, like they're walking the runway, and you're looking at what they're wearing, and you're like,
oh, yeah.
Who would ever wear that?
I don't get it.
No one's ever going to wear that. Or maybe you see something in a magazine and you're like, no one's wearing that. Well, apparently there's a new fashion trend, and it's literally making me say the same thing. No one would do that. Why would you do that? This sounds like nothing but dangerous. There's a new fashion trend where people are wearing soccer cleats when not playing soccer, just in everyday life.
Oh, no way. Why?
Just to head out and about to run your errands.
That is... No, that can't be comfortable. That is not comfortable.
It can't be.
That's got to just tear your feet apart.
Not to mention how unsafe that is. Because you're not digging into grass. You're walking on tile or something smooth.
Like they're wearing them in the school? Is the school allowing that?
It's become a viral sensation. It is
Tearing
not
up your carpet?
practical at all. You know, if you're walking on tiled floors, it can be slippery, uncomfortable. Not to mention, clickety clackety, clickety clack. They have those hard because they're not like cleats that are spiked.
Right.
They're more kind of like rectangle.
Round. Yeah. So this is what the cool kids are doing now, huh?
Mm-mm.
So they can make noise, draw attention to themselves.
No, people are calling it a pure vibe. No, it's not.
A pure vibe.
No, it's not. The only thing about soccer cleats is I have seen them, and a lot of them are very colorful.
Yeah.
But you can get colorful gym shoes.
Yeah.
Just do that.
I don't why you can't be enjoying that.
I can't imagine you are.
Because I
can't imagine it's safe.
I've gotten out of a car after, I can remember back in school, like after football practice, and gone into Wendy's or whatever to get something to eat.
And
I'm
cleats,
like, I hated them.
Yeah.
Nobody's enjoying that.
Mm-mm. Don't do this. Seriously, I'm more concerned about the safety issue. You are going to slip and fall. If not hit your head, you're going to do the splits and pull a hammy or something. Because your legs are going to go in opposite directions and not in a good way. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Little tidbits of information you can take with you throughout the day. Suge Knight. If you've seen any movie about early hip-hop days, Suge Knight was the guy who ran Death Row Records.
Yep.
And he actually played in 2 NFL games for the Los Angeles Rams in 1987.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was a defensive end and actually wound up with 0 stats, no tackles, sacks, or anything like that. But he did suit up. And then he went on to become a bodyguard for some famous people, and then that's how we got into the music business, so on and so forth. The original voice of Snow White was Adriana Caselotti. She was not credited for the role because Disney had a rule at the time where voice actors weren't given credit for animated movies to preserve the magic. They wanted you to just believe that Snow White had a voice. She was only paid $970 for the movie, which is equal to about $22,000 today. And after that, she didn't have any notable roles mostly because Disney was blocking her from doing anything so audiences wouldn't recognize her voice, thus taking away the magic of Snow White's voice.
That's so wrong, man.
Isn't it, though?
That's Disney. That is, I tell you, man. I know it's the greatest thing for kids. Parents want to get their I think they're evil.
A lot of people feel the same way. Saddam Hussein used Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You as his campaign re-election song in 2002.
No, come on. Seriously?
Not only did he use I Will Always Love You, but it was really effective because he won with 100% of the vote.
Of course he did.
Now, I don't know if it was Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You or the threat that he would probably kill you if you didn't vote for him.
Exactly. I don't even know if they just count. They probably didn't even count votes. They probably didn't even have a vote.
They're just like, you win.
He won it all. He got all the votes.
You got all the votes. Yep. Here's one for you. Russia and Pluto have almost the exact same size surface area. 6.6 million square miles for Russia and 6.4 million square miles for Pluto.
That is the smallest planet, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is like a dwarf planet is what they call it. If it's even considered a planet anymore, because it was, then it wasn't,
I don't care what.
it wasn't.
I don't care what that guy said. What's his name? The outer space dude, Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't care what he says.
In terms of what, being a planet or not a planet? Well, it was NASA that made it a planet and then said it wasn't a planet and then said it wasn't a planet.
I thought he decided it wasn't a planet.
No. They actually...
That's not the way I heard it.
They actually said, no, we're not considering Pluto a planet anymore.
But I thought it was because of him.
I don't know about me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Finally, I did know this little fun fact, only because it happened right around the time I was born. France didn't stop executing people with the guillotine until September of 1977.
With the what?
The guillotine?
The what? You mean the guillotine?
Guillotine.
It's a
croissant. Yeah, exactly. Guillotine. They were still executing people with the guillotine when the first Star Wars movie came out.
Oh, wow. I thought that was like medieval times way back.
No, 1977.
Wow.
Yeah. Still putting people's heads between the boards and shrink.
Jeez.
Just like that. There you go. Learning you some stuff on a Thursday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.